All right, we're gonna call the Macon-Russell Community Action Agency to order. Roland, you need somewhere to sit? Oh, okay, got it, okay. All right, at this time, we're gonna have a prayer, and I'm gonna ask Mr. Maxwell to lead us in the prayer.
If you would, let's pray with me. Father and God, we pause to give you thanks for life. We give you thanks for this time of fellowship. Lord, we give you thanks for these our people who have gathered here at this hour. Lord, we realize that as we gather here that we are only here because of your grace and your mercy. And for this we thank you right now. We come lifting up those who are sick, those who go into bereavement. Lord, we lift them up to you right now. Lord, for comfort. All those that we don't know to call by name, Lord, we ask you to just touch them in a mighty way. Bless this meeting. Bless those of us who are gathered here. Provide us with the wisdom to do those things that are pleasing in your sight. And Lord, we will be everyone to give you all the praise and all the glory. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, we have a roll call by Ms. Harrison.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
LaWanda Gray, Louis Maxwell,
Here.
Leon Frazier,
Here.
Vivian Covington,
Here.
James Samuel,
Here.
Kathy Epps,
Here.
Eula, we know she's out, Roland Bond,
Here.
Geneva James, here. Okay, Mr. Peters out, he's excused, Mary Sewell, here. Johnny Ford, he's on his way, and Oliver Clark,
Here.
and Estelle Mitchell.
Here.
That's our whole board, and we're gonna have that.
All right, at this time, we will have our pledge of allegiance and our mission recital. Let's stand. Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right, our mission recital. Macon-Russell Community Action Agency strives to reduce the harsh impact of poverty generated through inflation, lack of preparation, education or other training, or loss of income by providing the people, helping people attitude, and offering a hand up, not a hand out for area assistance. All right, we're on item F. I will entertain a motion for approval of the agenda.
I so move.
We have a motion by Ms. Mitchell.
Second.
And a second by
Mr.
Mr. Samuel. Okay, motion by Mitchell and a second by Samuel. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of the approval of the agenda, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays? No nays, ayes have it, motion carries. Very good. Okay, item G, we need the approval of our last meeting minutes that was dated for February 16th, 2022.
Madam Chairman, I'll make a motion that we accept the necessary time.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Clark to,
Second the motion.
and we have a second by Mr. Samuel. Are there any questions? No questions? All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays? Hearing none, ayes have it, motion carried. Okay, we are down to item H on our agenda. We are at the Executive Director report.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, and then,
So I'm going to give you all my Executive Director's report. So I have been participating still on the Making Cares Task Force.
Got a question. Excuse
Yes,
me.
sir.
Do we have that?
Yes, sir.
yes, in there.
Yes, sir.
Thank
You
you.
see it?
Thank you.
I did. You did? It's in there. Okay. Yes.
Both our minutes from February are kind of long. If we go beyond the lake,
You'll see.
you'll see it.
Yes, ma'am. Four, please.
Okay. So the purpose of the Making Cares Community Partners Task Force was to respond to the ongoing threat of the COVID-19 virus on the lives of citizens of Macon County. The task force has developed a strategic plan to mitigate the virus's spread in the community. I am a member of the Efficient Management and Distribution of Resources Committee and the Centralized and Multi-Layered Communications Subcommittee. The agency has been selected again to participate in the Digital Navigator Program through Rural List. The purpose of the program is to bridge the digital divide by connecting families and increasing their technology skills. So when we first did the first round, we were able to serve 50 Head Start parents in Macon County and have provided them with a brand new tablet in which they are able to utilize the North Star training curriculum. The Macon County staff was also trained as digital navigators to assist families with case management. And we are participating in the 2022 cohort and will enroll families in the program who reside in Russell County. I participated on the LIWAP, which stands for Low Income Home Water Assistance Program, Advisory Committee meeting on February the 10th. This meeting was held by the Energy Division of ADECA to discuss the logistics as it relates to the upcoming water assistance program for the state of Alabama. I have been attending the Pathways of Excellence webinars conducted by the National Community Action Partnership, in which the agency is participating in this program. The Pathways to Excellence program empowers community action agencies in their pursuit of excellence through an intentional process of assessment, planning, and capacity building to institutionalize known best-in-class practices from the Community Action Network and outlined in the 35 Standards of Excellence. We actually we are actually in the gold cohorts with 3 other community action agencies in the United States. So when we complete this process, which should be between 9 months and 12 months, we will be officially a gold standard community action agency as it relates to the national community partnership.
That's big time.
Big time.
All right, all right.
I have been selected to be a Wisdom Council member for the Southern Black Girls and Women's Consortium, which covers 12 southern states. In addition to direct grant making, the consortium coordinates efforts and support opportunities to provide spaces for healing, political education, and organized capacity building for movements that center and are led by Black girls and women. In partnership with Troy University in Phoenix City, Alabama, the Riverfront campus, the agency conducted financial literacy training program sessions on February the 10th and February the 24th at Troy University. Will Thompson, who is the president of Synovus Bank in Phoenix City, led the training based on the Money Smart curriculum from the FDIC, which is the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Our next training will be held on May 12th, 2022, and these trainings are every quarter. I attended the Russell County United Way Emergency Food and Shelter Program to discuss the upcoming awards and grantees for the new funding on February 23rd, and I served as the secretary for the organization. I attended the Tuskegee Area Chamber of Commerce meetings on February 28th and March 28th, and I am also the secretary for the Chamber of Commerce. I attended the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce meetings on February the 28th and March the 22nd. I have been meeting with the Vice Chancellor of Troy University, Dr. Dion Rosser-Mims, and their executive team, in which we are creating an outline for the Leadership Institute that will be created for the residents in Russell County. A meeting was held on March the 24th, and we just had a meeting this past Monday, actually, in which we are creating the curriculum. And we'll have subsequent meetings leading up to the opening of the program, which we are hoping to start in August. I attended the Safe Space Montgomery Community Mediation Training on February the 25th through the 26th and March the 4th through the 5th. The purpose of the program is to better understand rates, causes, and types of community violence in the Montgomery metro area and explore the relevance of violence prevention and intervention and community mediation. I actually received my certificate in community mediation from the Mediation Center of the Coastal Empire, and I will be able to provide community resource mediation for both Macon and Russell counties. I was elected to sit on the board of directors of Mother Mary Mission in Russell County in March. That was March the 18th of 2022. So I actually am a board member of that mission. In conjunction with Troy University, the agency, Macon-Russell Community Agency, has chartered its first Toastmasters chapter in Russell County. And for you all who may not know what Toastmasters is, it is an international educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills which will help individuals to become more confident speakers, communicators, and leaders. This chapter will work hand in hand with the community leadership program that I was just speaking about. And I have been elected to be the treasurer of this chapter. The meetings are held every second and fourth Thursday of the month. We are actually going to charter the same Toastmasters cohort here in Macon County, and I will be working with the Chamber of Commerce in order to facilitate that process. And that process will happen in June. So we'll have a Toastmasters chapter in Phoenix City, and we'll have a Toastmasters chapter here in Macon County.
Now, will Community Action be the sponsoring agency or will it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, we're a sponsored agency in Russell, and we would be the same thing here. I have been working with Mother Mary Mission in Phoenix City on the development of a female veterans shelter and a summer youth camp that will begin July the 4th through July the 16th. This summer youth camp will target male youths between the ages of 11 and 16, and they will receive leadership development training, participate in field trips, and a host of other activities. I attended the Junior Senior High School Leadership Program work session on March the 21st, and this session was held by the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce. And I will be working with the partners of the Chamber of Commerce in Phoenix City to create a countywide youth leadership program in conjunction with the school districts, which is slated to start in 2023. I have been working with Alana Jones from Welcome Solutions on our comprehensive community assessment here for the agency. This community assessment will be introduced to each of you at our annual meeting, which will be June the 16th. And that annual meeting will be held at Troy University in Phoenix City. So I will be sending out that information to you all. The nominations committee meeting was held on March the 15th to discuss the open vacancy in the poor poverty sector. And the nomination meeting was held on March the 30th here at the Annex, where Mr. Melvin Clark was selected to continue to represent his sector on the board of directors. The Finance Committee held a meeting on March the 24th to go through the selection process for the new auditor. There were 3 audit firms that submitted a request for proposal, and the committee has recommended that Haley & Woods Audit Firm be the new auditors for the agency. Pam has already started communicating with them, and they should be sending us, we've already sent the letter out to them, and they should be sending us the next letter, requesting the documents and all of those things, because we want to make sure that the audit is complete by the annual meeting, which will be in June. So then they can come and present it as mandated in the organizational standards.
That question, now,
Yes,
you
sir.
said if that's a recommendation from the Finance Committee to this body, we have to vote on that today?
Yes. The executive committee met with members of the Macon County Council on Rehabilitation to discuss the letter regarding the transportation debt. And this will be another discussion that will be here at this meeting. And as far as the organizational standards are concerned, out of the 58 standards, 30 have been submitted and approved in Faxro by EDECA. And the remaining standards are related to the community assessment, which we will have approved in June, and we can knock those off. And then the other standards are related to the audit, which we will have in June, and so then we can knock that off, and then we will once again have 100%. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Frazier so he can introduce something real cool to you.
Okay, I would like to introduce the new newspaper that has been published for the last 8 months. And it's called the Macon County Community Partners Task Force newspaper. It decided to be, this newspaper features relevant facts on health, safety, and history. And if you have anything in your area that you feel you want to publish, all you have to do is go to the Macon Cares website on the back side and make your contact and send through anything that you want to get published. It should be related to COVID-19 or basic health or safety. And of course, when something happened as precious as the Edmund Pettus Bridge March, we decided to put that there because that needs to be a forever remembrance of all of us due to the energy and the life and suffering that so many people did to make that voters' right a reality. So that's basically, we started with 8 pages. We've expanded now to 12 pages. We have an excellent relationship with the printer who is up in Cover, Alabama. And we started off with 2 color pages, front and back. And our relationship grew to the point that we was able to get the inside pages, 6 and 7, in color also, without any additional cost. So keep in contact with us. We're spread it all over the county at all the post offices, eating places, and et cetera. And if you have any place, my telephone number is in there on the page that specified the Montgomery County Community Partners Task Force. My telephone number is there under that section. That's page 2. And another very important thing is, you know, ignorance of the law is a doctrine in America, whereas you expected to know the law, and whether you do or not, they're going to sock it to you if you violate the law. So the sheriff and I got together and decided that rather than be ignorant of the law, let's just teach people a law. So each month we will define a law that's commonly violated in our communities and tell people about the consequences of getting involved in that. Any questions?
You forgot one very important part, Mr. Frazier.
What part is that?
The-
Oh.
What did we forget? What did
You forgot us.
I forgot our special agency.
Yes.
And I was fortunate to get Ms. Walker in all of the stuff that she has to do to break down some of it and how it applies to the community. And now citizens who read this will have a good perspective on what the agency does, how it affects them, and what they need to do to qualify to get those services. And thanks for doing that.
Good.
Thank
If you do one on this Walker, you can have two papers.
Or the whole paper one, right?
Very good.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we have heard the somebody has something to
Yes,
say?
ma'am.
I'm sorry, who?
The, mother, let me see,
Mother Mary Mission.
yes,
Mhm.
the program, is it June 4th or July 4th?
It's June 4th to July the 16th.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's a
I
6-week
thought that was what
summer
you were saying,
camp.
but you said July.
Yeah.
You know, you said June instead
I'll
of,
be doing that.
yeah. So I was wondering, that's a good length.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Excuse me. On a leadership program, you see with young men, are you looking for any volunteers?
Of course,
That would be something that I'll be interested in.
awesome. I have a meeting with them on Friday to solidify the trainers and some other logistics, and so I'll make sure I put your name down as a volunteer. Thank you. Yes,
Ms. Harrison?
Madam Executive Director, Mother's Mission, that's over near the school.
that is the school. It used to be a Catholic school.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
20 years ago, I had a class over there, adult education class, and it was an awesome place.
Yes.
And what is it called?
So we're actually revamping the school, so it's the church, the school, and the gym. And so we're actually revamping all of that. So where the school is, I am partnering with Ms. Jones at Welcome Solutions, where we are going to bring a after-school program there.
Oh,
She already has 3 child care centers in Phoenix City, and she's also the nutrition director for Phoenix City Schools. And so we're working together now to get the after-school program in that section there. And then where the convent was, where the nuns live, that is converted into the female veteran shelter. And so that will be in conjunction with the VA. And so then we will house those individuals there, so that'll be like a transitional living facility where they'll be able to stay there and get all of the services that they need in order to, move out on their own and be stable. The next part of the school is going to be where the community hub is going to be. So that is actually where I'm looking to be housed. And we're looking to have the community action agency there. We're looking to have representation from DFACS, representation from the health department, representation from the Department of Labor, places like that. So individuals can come to one place and get all of the things that they need. And then also in the gym portion, that is where every week they have a basketball camp, and it's about 200 to 300 children that are there at basketball camp every week. And so there are a lot of cool things. As a matter of fact, Miss Caddy Epps has been elected to be in the Sports Legends Hall of Fame at Montgomery Mission.
Yes.
We just had a huge banquet, was that last month? February. In February, where she actually is now in the Sports Legend Hall of Fame there with some other
Tell me about
dignitaries.
this lady.
Yes, and Miss Mary Sewell, she actually sits on the board with me as well. And so there are a lot of cool things that are going on. And then remember, whatever I do in Russell County, I'm looking to do in Macon County and vice versa. So I don't want to make sure whatever programs that I have there, I can have here and there and here and so on and so forth.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful? I had a GED class there, 20 years ago. I retired 19, and I'm sure after that we didn't have the class anymore.
Ms. Ellis?
Yeah, I would like to ask Mr. Frazier if he have any extra of these.
Yes,
Please
ma'am.
let me take them to the county commissioners so they will know what we are doing as a whole, Russell and Macon working together.
Yes, ma'am, I'll get you
I
some.
just kind of glanced through this, but you have good material in here. Very good material.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? As always, Miss Angel is doing an awesome job, and the agency is on the move. And we appreciate you for leading us in the right direction. If there's nothing else, I will entertain a motion to accept.
So move.
Second. So I hope you got all of that, right?
I did.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? None? All those in favor of accepting the executive director report, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays? Hearing none, ayes have, the motion carries. Very good. All right, now we're down to our fiscal report, and we're gonna hear from Ms. Shaw.
By the way, that is my new name according to Mayor Covington.
Hold on, Mayor
Everybody, do I need to turn it from everybody comfortable? Do I need to do anything? You sure? All right. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I think we could use a little app.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Harrison, huh?
You won't let me touch the thermostat, so I'm not gonna touch it.
You can touch it.
He ain't even touch the chip.
You can touch it.
Okay, Ms. Pamela.
Okay, so, starting off, we'll talk about SCAD, which is our nutrition program. For the FY 2022, it ends September 30th of 2022. The budget is $15,500, and of that we have remaining $7,180. We have ABC Trust for FY 2022. We received $6,836 for the 2022 emergency energy. We are to receive another $13,672 for the cooling. Right now, that would bring our total budget to $20,508. As of March 31st, we have exhausted the emergency heating funds for the program. On our general fund,
I moved your chair over a little bit so I could get her.
On our general fund, the award is $8,758 for FY '22. And as of March 31st, there is $5,947.53 remaining. And that will end September 30th, 2022 as well. CSBG, we started the new funds, and so right now, we have an award of $138,222. We have made our initial request of $26,262. And as time goes by, we'll get more funds on that one. On CSBG Cares, there's $14,732.87 remaining on that award, and we have until September 30th of 2022 to exhaust those funds. LIHEAP, the FY '22 award is $1,216,741. As of March 31st, we have $957,194.39 remaining. On our LIHEAP ARP, which is our supplemental funds, from ADECA, we were awarded $974,548. As of March 31st of '22, we have $278,224.32 remaining. And we have until August 30th of '22 to exhaust those funds. September, I'm sorry. Thank you. And then we have a new one that's coming. That's LIWAP, and that's for Low Income Housing Water Assistance Program. We have the conditional approval for $254,461, and those funds are to provide water assistance. And we have until September 30th of 2023 to spend those funds when we get them.
When, can I ask a question? When will they start, taking the application for the LIWAP?
We have not gotten we've gotten the conditional approval. We have not yet gotten the actual paperwork with to receive those funds. So I don't know when we'll get those exactly. But as soon as we get that, then it's usually within 2 weeks we start.
Question.
And I have included, as usual, as I always do, the year-to-date expenditures for those programs broken out for y'all.
Mr. Maxwell has a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that for both Russell and Macon?
Yes, that would be for both counties, Macon and Russell.
Hopefully they don't come up with more money than that. Okay. But I'm really grateful.
I have one more, the ABC Trust. The total was $20,508. Now, out of that, we have, what have we spent out of that?
We have spent $6,836, and that's for the emergency energy. So that's for your heating. And when cooling season comes into play, they will give us the $13,672.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? No questions? So if not, I entertain a motion to accept our fiscal report.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second by Ms. Gray, right? Okay. Are there any questions? Okay. All those in favor of accepting our fiscal report, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Are there any nays? Hearing none, ayes have the motion carries. Our next item is the programmatic report.
On the programmatic report, this is as of April the 12th. With ABC Trust in Macon County, we've served 12 households and 27 in Russell. For LIHEAP Crisis, we've served 120 families in Macon and 162 in Russell. And for the regular heating, it's 835 in Macon and 683 in Russell. this program right here, the heating program is going to be up, in well, it's May 30th. And so June 1 is when we'll start the cooling program. So whatever funds we don't spend for the heating program, it just rolls over into, cooling. For the supplemental, that's 678 individuals for Macon County and 832 individuals for Russell County. For the supplemental, the individuals do not have to apply for the money. It automatically is put on their account once they come in to receive either heating or cooling. So they automatically get it when they come in and apply for regular heating, crisis heating, or regular cooling and crisis cooling. And so, like Pam said, we have about 200,000 left for that. So when that money is exhausted, then that'll be the end of that.
Question.
Yes.
When you said put on the account.
So when an individual comes in and apply for regular heating, they will get that benefit amount that they qualify for, and then they also will get the supplemental money, which is $300.
See, are you giving out paper checks or they credit cards or they digital?
Oh, no, that's how we do our regular benefits.
Oh.
So they're getting it on their bill, so they'll get it in the system, we'll cut the check and send it to UBT, Alabama Power. So they're not receiving a physical. Yeah, it's going on their actual account. It's just, they don't have to do any additional documentation or do any additional work in order to get it. If they qualify, when they come in for LAHI, then they automatically receive this extra funding.
Even if that gives their account a credit balance? That's good.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We won't get it.
For, yes, ma'am.
Just want to compliment you on your new system you have there. A lot of people are saying, at first they thought it was kind of complicated, because all they had to do was come to the door, fill out the application, and put it back in the box. And when they found out they were actually receiving the services, now they're saying that's awesome.
Yes, and so actually, June 1, everything is opening back up.
Yes.
So June 1, we are going to open back up again. We'll do it soft. However, we are still going to let the participants have that option of just go ahead and make your appointment, put the information in the drop, because they're so used to it now. And they're probably going to want to continue doing that instead of coming into a physical appointment. So you might have some who do want to come to a physical appointment, and that'll be fine. But I'm anticipating the majority of them is still going to make their appointment and put the documentation in the box and move on, and then we'll call them and finalize.
It was like the ones that was over that day we had that meeting, they wanted to come in and bring the stuff in.
Right. And then you have some individuals who may need copies made, things like that, so yes.
And excuse me, and I forgot to, I apologize for sending you a letter, but all the facilities will be open back up May 1.
Okay.
So feeding program, whenever you want to pick those back up.
Okay, so we'll get that together.
Yeah.
And
I'll get
so-
you something.
I just want to say one other thing. Couple people I carried, they to do that, and I said, do you need any help? They said, no, you don't know what to do, so just sit in the car, you roll me in, I have to do my own. I said, thank you, man, thank you, Miss Ass. But we know exactly what to do, and I thought that was just awesome.
Thank you.
Can I ask you one question? Under LAHI,
Yes.
I'm assuming that experiences versus dollars are not related in those two numbers, right? Because,
Come on, Macon County 835.
yeah,
And
Macon
Russell
County being
666.
greater than Russell, which is kind of the opposite of the way we.
Right, so the money is split, 55-45. And so 55% goes to Russell County and 45% goes to Macon County. So it's all a matter of individuals bringing their, the amount of participants that we can have is there. It's just a matter of them making those appointments and bringing that documentation in. So you'll see it kind of flip-flop somewhat, but just know that it's 55% for Russell County and 45% for Macon County.
Let me ask you,
Ms. Katie on this.
but on that same question, in terms of the target population that we serve, percentage-wise, which county has the largest percentage? Or do we
That
have-
would be Russell County.
Russell County.
Okay.
And I think I think he was looking at the numbers because Macon was 835 and Russell County was 683. But that's the number of households that they have served. And so, you have to look at people in Russell County if they want to be served, they have to come out and pick up the applications and all that. And then that will meet the numbers.
Right.
You want a dollar here.
Okay, on dollar help for regular, for Macon County, we served 5, and for Russell County, it was 1. For crisis, that was 1 in Macon County and 0 in Russell County. So dollar help is through Spire, and so that's through the gas company. So that's for those individuals who get gas and need additional assistance. And it's just a small pot of money. It's nothing that we actually do, but just do the application, and that's pretty much it. It's not like it's any physical money that's actually coming to the agency. So it's more like referrals, basically. So we don't have to cut any checks for that particular. For prescription assistance, in Macon County, we had 1 participant and 2 in Russell. For transportation assistance, we had 1 in Macon. And for CSBG Cares, which as Pam stated, we are at the very end of this. For Macon County, we have 3 for emergency services and 11 for rental. Russell County, we had 34 emergency services and 35 for rental. So right now, we're at like $14,000, and some of that is admin money because the majority of the assisted money has already been exhausted. And so by the end of this month, that $14,000 will be gone. And so it's probably gone now. And so it'll be 0 going forward because we have until September the 30th to spend that money. And they are very adamant that we spend this money because this is that money from the American Rescue Plan Act, and we want to make sure we do our due diligence on it and make sure that they understand that we spend all of it and everything is taken care of and give us some more. For the digital navigator program, that actually needs to be updated. Instead of 24, it's actually 50 enrollees. And for the senior nutrition site, we have 1 at Prairie Farm and at Warrior Stand, and we continue to provide those meals curbside or have them delivered to their homes. And then as Chairman Maxwell said, I need to get into the office tomorrow and work on a transition plan so we can open back up on May the 1st.
You don't have to go on, that's whenever you get ready to.
Okay. Just knowing that
Yeah.
May 1st, we can go ahead and start.
Whenever you want to do, that's your call.
Awesome.
Okay.
Any questions on the program? Yes, sir.
You also were doing a program with regard to getting internet services to households.
Yes, that was the digital navigator
And
program.
that's the one.
And then that was in conjunction with the emergency broadband benefit, in which we still give the individuals who need that particular service that information. So any individual who receives like SNAP benefits, Medicaid, Medicare, children are enrolled in the school free and reduced lunch program, are senior citizens and they receive any type of assistance, they actually will be able to receive up to a $60 stipend on their internet bill. And that is through the participating vendors, which is your AT&T, your Verizon, your Cricket, your Spectrum, places like that. So if you know anyone who's interested in it, and you also get up to $100 off of a device. So you can get up to $60 off of your monthly internet bill and up to $100 off of a device. For those who qualify. Yeah, this is nationwide.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Is that per household or
Per child.
I think it's per, I don't know that question. Because it said everybody who are applying, they have to, produce their own thing. So I'm probably thinking it's probably gonna be per household because your internet is in one house. You see, it's not like you get 3 internet services in your house. So I'm thinking it's probably gonna be per household.
Yeah, with the
all of
internet.
our students are free and reduced lunch, so that
Yes.
means that all our households will be
Absolutely.
part of that.
Outside, I put my paperwork in there yesterday,
Okay.
so I'm gonna do my name.
Okay, see? So then you can come and bring the testimony back to us and let us know how it works. So like I said, that's nationwide, so it's for anybody who, qualify for the services and jump on it because You know, things don't last forever, so get as much as we possibly can while we can.
But what about the computer? If you got more than one child in the household, would that be $100 for each?
I think it's just by the household.
Oh, okay.
But you only have one service, like you said, one.
Right, you only have one internet service, so.
Yeah, but then what, but if you got 2, 3 kids, they're not gonna use the same, what is it, Chromebook, what they're using, right? Chromebook, they're not.
You talking about the devices?
Yeah, I'm talking about
Right.
the devices now, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was wondering what they get, the $100 off, you don't think so?
We check
That's a
it
lot
out.
of money though.
I know.
Yeah. Well, just a thought, it would be nice if it was like that, cause you know, it will help out a lot of parents.
Oh, you would have to go to your service provider. So if you have AT&T, then you just contact AT&T or go onto their website and they'll tell you exactly what to do. It's right there on the website. Put your name and tell us what you did. Go ahead and tell us.
I use that. Cause
Okay.
I got Usenet, my neighbor had Usenet too. So
Oh, I got you.
And so what did you do? You called them or did you go online?
I called them and I was asking them, did they have anything to help, you know, low income or senior citizen like she and I were, you know, we needed some help. So she said she'll send the paperwork out. So if I did mud, you know, I ran it on, you know, and did whatever I needed to do and put it back in the mail. So next time I come, I'll let you all know.
Miss Mitchell, do you have an extra copy at your house?
No.
Okay, well, I call, cause I have used that too, and I'm a senior citizen.
And then also they have a portal too. So for those individuals who can download it and upload it back up,
Right.
then they have that. But for those who may not have those capabilities, then they'll mail it out to you.
Okay, well, I'll download that.
Ms. Walker, you know what the income level?
So it's whatever income level it is to receive those benefits.
Mm.
So that's normally between 125% to like 200% of the poverty guideline. Because right now to
This
receive
one,
community
this doctor
services.
on out.
I know. So in order to receive community services funding, they raise it to 200%, and that's one funding that they will recognize. So it's between 125 to 0 to 200%.
Well, we can still try it, you know, you anything, try anything,
Yeah.
you might look up. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, anyone else? If not, I entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I believe that we accept the report from our
Okay, we have a,
Second.
and the second round, Ms. Leslie. Are there any questions? No? All those in favor of accepting our Programmatic Report, let me know by saying aye. Are there any nays? Ayes have it, motion carries. Okay, item I on our agenda, Macon County Council on the rehabilitation request. We met on, give me the date, Angel. What was the date?
March,
It's in that minutes.
oh yeah, it is in minutes.
Okay.
Go ahead, put it down there.
Oh, it was no.
That's not important.
We met March,
March the 30th?
yes,
Okay. We met March the 30th with Miss Hicks, Mayor Ford, and Miss Harrison over at the agency. And the gist from the meeting is that they're still asking, well, I was asked if we could forgive the debt. And I told Mayor Ford at that meeting that I could not speak for the agency, it had to come before the board. And I told him, you pretty much know what the board had said. I said, because if we forgive the debt, then if PNC forgive our debt, then we could forgive their debt. Because we get the money from them and that's what we pay on the loan at PNC Bank. And so we're looking at, you know, if PNC won't forgive the debt for us, then we cannot forgive the debt to them. So that's where we at now. But they also stated that they were willing to resume payments, correct me, Angel, if I'm not wrong, that start in May. If they could, if not, they will resume in the month of June. But right now it's before the board, what you all want to do, and I think you all said the last time, but we can ask again. Attorney Gray, do you want to address it, or do I need to call it?
Madam Chairman, I would just like to make one comment. We had a quorum because Ms. Phillips and Mayor Peter was on by phone.
Right.
I don't think, Madam Chair, members of the agency board, from a legal standpoint, already you have an agreement in place. And you already, from a financial standpoint, have stated quite clearly the agency, where you are, which is, if you don't collect the money, then this agency will have to pay the money. It's a good thought to hope that PNC may forgive the debt, but of course PNC is in the business of making money, and they make money off of their loans. And this is a loan that I'm sure they're going to keep on trying to collect. So it's just a question really of whether this board wants to put on the back of its, the people that you're serving, this obligation.
Ms. Gray is, what happened, Ms. Gray, is the MCRR, right? They have a debt that they owe to the agency.
About 100 and
Yeah.
something.
And what had happened is we entered into a contract with them where they paid, how much?
$650.
$650 a month. And they paid it, starting out real well, and then all of a sudden, they stopped paying it. And so then they sent us a letter stating that they had paid it for 2 years straight. And so they were saying that after, when they paid it for 2 years straight, then the contract was null and void. That means they didn't have to pay any more money.
Well, let me say this, I mean, and I serve on both
both
boards,
boards.
okay, I do want to make sure everybody understands.
Yeah.
When the original agreement, I don't know what the agreement said, but I know it was discussing that after 2 years, if they pay it, I don't think it's in writing, that this board would look at it to consider their request again. I think that's what they.
Actually, it is in writing that if they paid it timely over that period of time, then the board would look at it.
Yeah.
That's all of it.
And I think that's why we at that point. I think the COVID may have thrown it off their some, but I think it was after 2 years they was expecting to come back. They were expecting, the board was expecting to come back for you to consider it again. Not that it was going to be automatically knocked off.
But that was in the letter that
Yeah,
Ms.
that
Hicks said was to, they just stop. And we just forgive and forget and don't collect any more money from. That was in the letter that I received.
Yeah, but I don't think that was the agreement that was.
No, that was not the agreement, but that was the letter that we received from them. So that's where we are now. They want us to forgive the debt. And then we was like, if we forgive the debt, then PNC is not gonna forgive the debt because the debt is still gonna be there. So we still have to pay the debt.
Wasn't that a time that they were delinquent in payments?
Yeah.
So if they were delinquent and the payments over the 2 year period, then they didn't do their obligation. If they didn't pay time, if they were being delinquent, then they didn't hold up their end of the bargain.
Did they just borrowed the money?
Attorney
No,
Gray,
let me just, no.
I'm gonna get you this Frazier right after.
Yeah, I probably should have mentioned that part too.
Okay,
Here it
services.
is. Our
Okay,
agency used to have a transportation license,
right.
and the MCCRR, or whatever the acronym is, they serve special needs adults pretty much. And so our van would pick up and drop off at the site up on the hill on Lake Shore. But it was for money, of course. And so they got behind, they didn't pay it. And that's why we're at this point now. I think I put it in a nutshell. Right.
Mr. Frazier.
Okay, COVID pushed them off into the ditch that they're in, which means that they did not have funds to keep up the payments. COVID has also caused $35,000 to be reimbursed to them from the COVID recovery funds. So I believe that they ought to pay some of that $35,000 to the responsibilities that they already have and not come up talking about, we've already designated this money. Because this debt was right there for them to designate some of the money to us. So that's my comment.
Yeah, Mr. Frazier is correct, they did get $35,000. And they did say that in the meeting when we met with them. But she said that it had, cause she said that some of the people had not been paid. So that some of that money had to go to salaries and different things like that. And, you have the notes, you took some notes, but anyway. And then she also said that they are down in, Bullock County now. They're getting clients from Bullock County. And so then we asked, well, have you asked Bullock County to allocate some money to help you all since you're going down in Bullock County? So that means we got to transport those clients up here. And she said that they will be going to the commissioner meeting to ask for funding to help with that aspect of it. But where we are at now is that this board needs to decide, are we gonna forgive the debt or they need to continue to pay the debt? And that's where we are, because I told them I could not say yes or no. I had to bring it back before the board members and let the board decide what they want to do. And then we'll go from there.
I think they need to pay.
I'd like to move that we do not.
Wait a minute, Mr. Frazier, Ms. Epps, and then you, Mr. Maxwell.
I was going to say that this was, I think this been going on for a few years. I think it was about the transportation and it wasn't getting paid, and I think even when I came on board, this discussion was going on.
Yes.
So, we can't put everything on COVID, okay?
Right.
They wasn't paying before COVID exists.
True.
Now, if they got $35,000, and I realize that, you know, they have maybe pay some employees back pay or whatever, but by the same token, they could at least pay something toward the debt of that $35,000. So I think that they want us to forgive them, but then we won't get into forgiving from someone else. So either way, we're gonna have to what? We're gonna be paying them. So I think it would be unfair for us to take on the whole responsibility of the debt alone. I just feel that way.
Mr. Maxwell, and then,
And let me say this, because again, I want to say that I'm a member of both boards, okay? When we say I understand that. I also think too, because I was on this board when that debt occurred. Number one, we didn't do our part when we allowed that debt to grow up that big. That's first part. And I agree that maybe we should take it. But I'm gonna ask on the other hand that if you would consider at least, looking at modifying the agreement to cut it back to 400 to give some relief on the monthly payment.
What are we having to pay back every month?
the money that we get for this,
I know, so how much? I mean,
$650.
so that means that we have to add 200.
So our payment to, it was
PNC.
based on what our payment to PNC was.
Yeah.
PNC requires $600 payment. And if 400 is going to be reduced, 200 is going to be reduced, then the agency has to find
What?
non-federal money
To add to that.
to pay the $200. We cannot use the federal money.
Okay. I understand it, but see, I thought we was just making the $600 payment on that, so that's our required payment. I understand what you're saying. So if PNC would consider reducing their payment,
Oh,
They
no,
won't.
they know.
that's just my statement.
Oh, I understand, Mr. Maxwell, but, so,
And for the record too now, the county gave a total on this bill, $40,000, so it's 35 and 5.
so they got 40,000, okay.
Second thing, if we decide to do anything, we have to look up on whether the state is going to agree. When I say state means ADECA or city grant, because they are going to say that we are not going to take those debts from PNC. You have to find a way to pay the PNC. you pay the PNC, then you can forgive the debts. If we can get a jackpot, our dog track makes money, and if we can get our share, then if we can pay the PNC loan, then it will be into a different boat.
Okay, anyone else have anything to say about the loan from NCR? Because Mr. Frazier would like to make a motion. No one else? Okay, Mr. Frazier.
Okay, I move that the debt does not be forgiven.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Frazier and a second by Mr. Clark. All of the, okay,
So just
question.
so that's really a motion to deny the request.
Mhm.
That's what I was just, on that.
Okay,
All right.
so,
Thank you.
that was the question. Okay, all those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye.
Let the record reflect, I'm going to abstain.
Okay,
I'm abstaining.
you abstaining, Ms. Gray is abstaining. Okay, well, I do it like this, I do a roll call vote.
Yeah.
What's the motion?
The motion is to
Deny the request.
deny the request for them to stop making the payment.
But are they gonna start making the payments starting June the 1st as they suggested?
I thought they said.
Well, I think that, can we take that as a
Do
separate
they have the
issue?
money to pay?
I think that's.
They evidently, because that what was told to us in the meeting, that I was to come back to ask the board to consider, just do away with the debt, and then if we didn't do that, then they would resume making their payments. Is that right, Angel?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question.
Oh, okay, well,
Okay, who have a question? Mr. Clark? I need
Now, since they haven't been paying our agency, so we've been paying the bank.
Mm-hmm.
So they're delinquent on some money. And what Mr. Samuel said is, if this is federal money that we've been using, then we're not being compliant.
We're not using federal money. We can't use the grant money from,
I understand that.
yeah.
That's,
he's
What I'm
asking
trying to
how
get-
we've been paying PNC all this time.
In
That's what-
actuality, we did use the transportation money supporting their expenses. Okay? That's how this amount was created. And when they couldn't pay it, and we didn't have the money to run the agencies, so we opened a
Got the
line of credit
Mm-hmm,
in PNC.
mm-hmm.
And they're not able to reimburse for us to pay, so that keep on increasing. And PNC said that you cannot have any more line of credit, you have to pay this loan back. So literally, the transportation money is the one, because we were spending more on that side, so we have to go and borrow a line of credit from the bank.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna finish carrying out the motion. I'm gonna do a roll call vote, so if you wanna abstain, you abstain. So I'm gonna start with, Louisiana, Mr. Clark. How do you vote? Yea or nay or abstain?
I'm voting, I don't think we should be given.
Okay, that's a no. Ms. Mitchell,
I don't think we should forgive you.
just say yes or no.
Yes.
Sustain. Mr. Samuel?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Vaughn?
I'm confused. Because we reversed what the nay or yea meant after the first vote.
No, the yea or nay means that, with the motion that Mr. Frazier made was that he voted, that we do not,
Deny the request.
to
Deny the request.
deny the request to forgive the debt.
If you vote to deny, if you vote to say no, then you say yes.
So Mr.
That's how
Clark
I
needs to revise. Yes.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, yes. All right, Ms. Mitchell?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Samuel, you said yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Bowen?
Yes.
Ms. Sewell?
I abstain because I'm on both boards.
No, I didn't call you Harrison, but that's okay. Ms. Harrison, she is sustained.
As I understand it correctly, I vote to not to forgive the loan. Yes.
Okay, that's yes, all right.
Yes, same, no.
No.
That was the confusion.
You're saying no, or you're saying yes?
Yes,
Yes to deny it?
Yeah.
You said no.
Oh,
but then she changed.
Yes, it's backwards.
Miss Angel, you get the right figures?
don't forget.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, all right, Miss Epps,
Yes.
yes, Miss James,
Yes.
Mr. Maxwell,
Abstain.
okay? Oh,
You
yeah.
got one?
Mr. Frazier,
Yes.
yes, Madam Chair, yes. Okay, are there any nays? No nays, and we have 2 abstain, right?
Right.
Okay. Are there any questions? None, here none, the motion carries, is, not to,
Deny the request.
Yes or no?
To deny the request.
to deny the vote is to carry that we will not accept, deny the request.
We will deny.
We will deny the request. Help me, help me, help me. It is confusing, it is confusing.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
full disclosure too, when we vote on this matter on the other side, I abstain also, okay?
okay,
I do express my opinion, but I'm gonna vote I abstain.
okay. Okay, now, what's the motion now?
That they start.
Oh, they
paying-
resume, making the
resume.
payments. Okay, now, I thought Mayor Ford was gonna be here because he, is the chairman. And he had said that they would resume, if they could, in May. But if not, they would resume in June.
If they could in June, but if the board says no to June, then they will start in May.
Okay,
So they want to start back paying June 1.
okay,
If the board decides, no, we don't want you to pay June 1, we want you to start paying now, then they will start paying in May. And then the money that, the back money will be at the back end. So it's basically the money is still just to be carried out by $7,000-8,000 added on to it, and they will pay that on the back.
so, Roland?
Could I make a motion
Yes.
to give the chairman the authority to work out the details on the resumption of payments and the amount of that resumption?
Say that again.
To allow the chairman to work out the details of when and how much the repayment is and when the back end dates start. So all of those details.
The both chairmans.
Mhm.
Just, we have one chairman.
Oh,
You talk about me and, Mayor
Mayor
Ford,
Ford.
because he's the chairman of that. isn't he?
So I mean, the payment is going to be $650.
Yeah.
And so they're saying, hey, can we start paying
Paying
back
June.
June 1?
Yeah, they want
If
to
you
start in
all
June.
say, no, we want y'all to start paying back now, then they'll start back paying May 1. And then the almost $8,000 will go on just to the back end, and
That's what they're asking.
Yes.
That's what they're
the board to,
allow them to.
allow them to add that on the back
That
end.
is, yeah.
And instead of going to have to go back and catch up.
Yes.
And my motion is basically to clean up the act and get the payments back on. We give you the authority to put that in place.
Okay.
Could I
challenge
I'm sorry. When you talk about putting it in place, are you saying that you want to give them the authority to say whether or not they start in May or start in June? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that everything that, when we leave here and they go do their meeting, there are all these things that are gonna become question marks. And when does the increased payment start?
There is no increase.
There's not gonna be any increase
Well,
payment.
we just said that there would be a rear end, that these charges that have been missed.
It'll just be added on to the balance.
So that's the date, that's the date positive and an end date. So that is really the details I'm talking about. The chairman should have the authority to go ahead.
Just as a point of procedure, you have a motion on the floor, and before you get further discussion, you should get a second so
We
that
did.
you can have this.
We did.
Who seconded?
Who was the motion?
It's not on discussion?
Didn't get a second on
We
it.
didn't get a second, he was
Yeah, we
still,
did.
oh, I didn't hear, but,
Oh,
yes,
okay,
sir.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So there was a motion for me to meet with the chairman,
You are the chairman.
A motion to authorize you to work it out.
okay, to work it out,
Yeah.
with the other chairman, okay.
And I got a question.
And then Mr. Frazier has a question.
And my question is, if we know that that organization, agency, whatever, have $40,000 right now,
They don't have that.
They
They don't
Well,
They don't have it right
that.
now.
well, that's only because they ignored us and went to do other stuff. But please let me get my concern out.
Come on.
If that agency received $40,000, knowing that this question was in effect, and they did not go, and you say $7,000 in arrears they are, and designate $7,000 to clear up this situation, and then do fair play with us to begin in May or June to continue the payment, well then that's telling me that organization didn't care very much about what we thought any one way or another.
I tend to agree with you, Mr. Frazier. Because you know, and I'm gonna say this, because you knew that you had a debt and you were behind, and you got the money, you would at least pay some money to us, if not the whole back payment that you owe. You would have showed some type of, but I'm gonna say this right here, Mr. Maxwell, you were not at the meeting. We were at the meeting and we were waiting. Miss Harrison came up, I came up right behind Miss Harrison. So I feel, I mean, if business is business. You see what I'm coming from? Business is business. If I owe you $5,000 and I got $5,000, I can at least give you $2,000 to try to catch up. You see where I'm coming from? To try to make it seem like I am trying to do my obligation to you all. You see where I'm coming from? But now if you got this money, and then in other words, you telling me and you telling us here that make away with y'all. Because she pretty much told us that in the meeting. Because we got our payroll people that haven't got paid, and we got this that we gotta pay, and we got this we gotta pay, but she never said, well, we know we owe y'all something, we gonna give y'all something. Am I lying, Angel?
No.
She never did say anything about the agency. She was constantly saying about, well, we got people that are working that haven't gotten paid all this time. And then I'm like, well, all this time these people haven't gotten paid. I'm quite sure if it was all about the money, it must have wasn't about the money, then they would have left and went someplace else.
No, I reiterate my motion. No change. We know that you have the sentiment of the board, and we just want you to, my motion is for you to go ahead and put it in place.
Why do you want to run her under that kind of gun?
Because I trust her explicitly.
I would,
Ms. Gray,
And I would like to say in the future that we don't, allow something to get this far back. Because it's not, they not handling their business, but did we handle ours? Because if business is business, which it is, and we're on the same page with that, you don't allow another person to owe you $600 and you go year after year, or month after month after month after month. So it's had to be a stop somewhere, COVID or no COVID, or whatever, so I'm saying in the future that we need to be cognizant of that.
I
All I'm
agree with you.
saying.
I agree with you. And the only reason that I didn't know is I knew when Angel told me. And that's when we found out when she told me. Because I was under the impression that they were making the payments.
And we had been calling
I was too.
and
That's why this
contacted
is
them,
constant.
and they stopped talking to us. So it's not like we just let them not pay, we called. and called. And normally, when we call, they would come and they would bring us a check. But then that stopped, and then that's when the letter came.
Okay.
Let me speak on that. I've been trying to get
One minute, go, Mr. Maxwell.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 minute, Mr. Maxwell. Let me say this for some of the people that are new to the board. I came on the board at the time when Harold White
Yeah.
was executive director. And we were going through the same identical thing. We would have the board meeting and they would come up with the MRCC and they had not made a payment. Then Mr. Maxwell would say, well, I'll see to them sending a payment. Am I lying, Mr. Maxwell? No, I'm not. And that's how we will get our money. So this been going on for
Wow.
for a while.
But I think we need to move on, but I wanna say this to this board.
Yeah.
I wanna say this to this board too. This board, at that time, did not have an angel. And we don't have an angel. Those of you all know, work with the organization know what I'm talking about.
I know.
I simply say that, because this board has been there too. It's just the other side of where we were. That's how we got there. We didn't have an angel then. And so we need an angel.
Yes.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
I
And we don't have to.
I agree with you.
Well, don't mess with them.
Well, Ms. Ellis.
I think you would do the motion.
No,
No.
I did not.
Okay, but
I absolutely did not.
You did not.
no.
No, I mean, when you can't,
Second.
when you're chairman, you won't trust your chairman to work out the details of the thing, that's my motion.
I call for the question.
Okay, she motioned.
And Ms. Grace seconded, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You just call for the
What
question.
I want to
Okay,
say
and-
that we have beat this horse around the corner.
Right.
I just call for the question.
Let's carry the motion, please.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Are there any nays?
No.
No nays.
No, that's a nay.
That's a
That
nay?
is a nay.
He said
You
no.
said nay?
Yeah, I'm saying,
Oh, he said.
You're
I
against
don't
the
want her to put it on that kind of gun, I want this board to make.
And I abstain.
Right, and she was saying that no nays, and I was saying,
Vote now.
yes, a nay. You don't vote.
Okay, one nay. That she was present, okay. All right, motion carried with one nay. Okay. Ms. H, I'll get with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item J. It's a long time I've been here, this long,
What
it's
that
been long.
What did I say, adjourn?
Okay, the agency-wide budget approval. Everybody should have this sheet right here. And we need a motion, to accept the agency-wide, budget. I have a motion by Mr. Maxwell. Can I get a second by Ms. Gray? Are there any questions? Here none. All those in favor for our agency-wide budget, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Are there any nays? Hearing none, ayes have, motion carried. Okay, item K, the announcement of our new auditors, and our new auditor is Haley and Wood.
And that a board action.
Yeah, we need a motion to.
Move that we engage Haley and Woods.
We said we already
We
did
did that?
that. We did that on March 30th.
We already
had a
did.
special
Okay,
call.
I'm just-
Oh, yeah, we had a special call.
So with this, we was just announcing to the rest of the members that Haley Woods will be our.
Rest of the members who?
The one that was not, didn't make it to the,
Oh, okay.
to the special
The one that we had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move around.
Alright, item L,
Wait 1 second, here it comes.
Question.
okay.
For clarification, when we approved her report, that did not pass in her report?
Yeah, that was in her
So
report.
that was just for information.
That was just for information for that.
Yes,
time.
But we approved the auditor, so we had a finance committee meeting, we went through that process, and then we approved the auditor doing the special call meeting on March the 30th.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Moving right on.
Item L, board member approval, welcome back Mr. Melvin Clark, and that,
Thank you.
we approved that in
We
that.
have to approve that here.
Okay,
So
well,
so we did the nomination
That nomination in our special.
on March the 30th.
So
Yeah.
moved.
So we have a motion by Mr. Maxwell, and then give a second.
Second.
Okay, we got 2 seconds. Alright,
Here you go.
are there any questions? No? All those in favor of Mr. Melvin Clark being back on our board, let me know by saying aye. Are there any nays? No nays here, no ayes carried. New business, is there any new business?
No.
I don't have any.
I'm in.
Are there any remarks?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Let me say this, and our agency, on yesterday, I had a chance to have a meeting at ADAPA. I got there early and had a chance to sit down, and about 20 minutes early, sit and talk with the director,
Mr. Boswell?
Boswell, and Macon County. And then one of the things he said, well, you all have an outstanding community action program over there. Y'all come a long way, so that says a lot.
Yes.
In terms of, that was one of the things he lifted up in our discussion. I just want to let you know that done a great job.
Yes. Awesome. Someone else has something?
I make a motion that we adjourn.
No, she has something.
Oh, yes, I have.
Ms. Harrison has something.
Yes, the Macon County Democratic Club is having our gala, May 1st, that's Sunday at 2 o'clock at the complex. And, Councilman Ford is one of the honorees. We have 4 or 5 honorees, and he's one of them. The tickets are $35. If you would like to come, you may call me, and I will have access to a ticket, or Betty Davis, and I don't know her number, but you know my number. If you want a ticket to come, that's Sunday, May 1st, at 2 o'clock at the complex.
Okay.
And you can pick it.
Anyone else?
And you can pick up the lunch.
Okay, nothing else? I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that, this meeting be adjourned and everybody have a safe trip home.
Amen.
Amen.
7:19.